Hi everyone, my name is Frankie and welcome to a movie a day challenge. Today is day number 297 and it's October 24th, 2018. Today I'll be watching the 1987 horror film Video Violence. Now, in each episode of a movie a day challenge, I pick one film that I've never seen before. And then I take that movie's movie poster and place it to the side of me. I do this because I absolutely have no idea of what the film that I'm about to watch is about. And being that I've absolutely no clue about the film or what it's about, I feel like I need to draw some type of conclusion of what I think the film may be about, based solely on the movie poster itself. In saying this, let's go ahead and take a look at the 1987 horror film movie poster to Video Violence. Now, this is, I'm going to be honest, interesting to me. For someone who's actually worked in 2 video stores back in the day, I want to say that this film is pretty cool based on what I'm seeing on the movie poster, that it deals with a video store. And I really like the whole image in the center of this hand and a video tape in its hand and the VCR next to the hand, and how it's just inserting a VHS tape into a VCR. It's sort of weird. You know, in a way, it's sort of graphic with the way the hand looks and all, but at the same time, it's weird because it's directed towards people that used to go and rent videos at a video store and the people that work there. And it makes me happy because, you know, I can identify with that. It's a time that I got to work and understand about the working industry and how to make a dollar, but it makes me relate to the fact that my relation towards going out and renting a videotape back in the 90s and the early 2000s. And I'm happy about this. You know, it brings back good memories, but also it gives me the sort of, I want to say, awkwardness and feel towards the fact that my happiness can also bring me danger in some way. And that's what I think this is marking towards. The fact that this film deals with people who either work at a video store or rent movies, and how things may be pleasant but actually can turn out bad. It makes me very happy and very interested in watching the 1987 horror film Video Violence. Now, after I finish analyzing the movie poster itself, I then let you, the viewer, know that I'm going to go ahead and watch the 1987 horror film Video Violence. But before I go and do that, I want to let you, the viewer, know that after I finish watching Video Violence, I then come back and tell you a little bit about the film. However, I don't go in great detail about the movie. You see, I don't release any major spoilers about the film, nor do I tell you anything about the movie's plot either. Why? Well, because I don't want to ruin your chance at watching a really great film for the first time. And since this is also my first time watching Video Violence, I wouldn't want anyone to spoil the film for me by telling me any major spoilers about the film or telling me anything about the movie's plot either. The reason why I do this is so that you can enjoy the film for what it's worth and be entertained by it. That's the sole premise for a movie a day challenge. Now, in case you've previously seen the 1987 horror film Video Violence previously, then please substitute Video Violence for another film for your viewing pleasure. This way you can take part in a movie a day challenge and possibly watch each film along with me as I go along. In saying this, I'm going to go ahead right now and watch the 1987 horror film Video Violence, and then I'm going to come back and tell you a little bit about the film. I'll be right back. I just finished the 1987 horror film Video Violence, and I want to let you, the viewer, know that Video Violence is an okay movie, in my opinion. I say this because I felt that there were some flaws in the film that basically could have been fixed a lot had this film been updated, I want to say, and I will get to that in a moment. But there are some flaws in this film that take place that just make this film not so great. Now, I'm going to get to the flaws in a second. However, I do want to say the thing about the pro about the film. I rated this an okay movie because the pro is that the story in this film is pretty cool to watch unfold before your eyes. And the special effects and makeup in the movie is pretty cool for the way the film was made. Now for the bad news. You see, although the story and makeup and special effects for those horror scenes do make everything cool and great to see, there are things that make it sort of annoying. Number one, background music. There are background sounds in this movie that make the film sometimes hard to watch. And when I mean hard to watch, I mean that there is notable songs in this movie that get played over and over again on scenes that should have never had background music taken place, but they decided on putting in there. So the scenes get hard to watch because the music gets hard to listen to, that you want to just click mute or stop the film and then maybe go back to it at a later time. But it gets annoying, plain and simple. And there are scenes like this, most notably between a husband and a wife, that happen numerous times within the movie that it just gets too hard to see. So, annoyment number one. Here comes annoyment number two. Now, this film was shot on tape. Now, back in the 80s, you could get equipment and just put a nice VHS into a camera and just shoot it on tape. And this film was shot on tape. Unlike, film, the tape has a problem when you normally switch medias. And what is that called is basically you're just transferring what's on VHS to a DVD. And when this happened for video violence, you basically get the same sounds of what a VHS tape would be playing in a VCR. So you get sort of like the sound of a little skipping, maybe a sound of a buzz. Well, that happens when you transfer media. And you get that for video violence. So most of the time you're watching it and you're hearing that sort of background sound of what a VHS would be sounding like in your VCR. So be prepared to be hearing some weird sounds. And know that it's not your DVD player. It's the tape itself that was used to transfer this onto a DVD. It's weird, it's annoying, but yeah, it's odd. Now, although there are times in this film that do contain nudity, annoyment number three. There seems to be a lot of parts of this movie that do contain nudity that you just question why. Now, I understand horror films have their nudity and need to show some sex here and there, but the scenes in this film came sort of strong. Not like your typical horror film. I'm talking about sort of like rape in a way. And it became hard to watch. And for a film that was basically supposed to give this surreal feeling of you watching a VHS back in the 80s and watching something take place in this movie, you're still supposed to feel that oh wow, I'm watching something that's real. It comes along more of creepy and weird now because it's so far ahead with media that when you watch this, it just becomes awkward. And you don't know if really the intentions were to shoot a horror scene that contained nudity or if it's just supposed to be, oh, here, look, we want you to be creeped out and weird by just exposing this woman's breasts and making it feel uncomfortable. I don't know if it's just me feeling this way. You will maybe feel different. But all in all, I just felt that the nude scenes in this movie were uncalled for. And quite sometimes a little disgusting because not in reference to the blood or like gory scenes, just uncalled for and disgusting because it situated the feeling of rape were going to be played out before your eyes. Something that was basically not cool. Not cool and uncalled for. Now, I have another problem with this movie. And the fourth problem with this movie is basically, I felt this film could have been a lot shorter. I don't know why, I just felt that this could have been an hour movie at tops. Going over is close to an hour and a half, okay, I understand that. But the whole story, there were scenes in this that could have been definitely cut out. Definitely cut out. I didn't need to see people walking down the street. I need to see cars going this way, that way. But for a movie in the 80s that it was, compared to now, I guess there were scenes that people needed to watch. Like a guy running across the street. Who knew? But that's another scene that I had a problem with. Can't complain. Right? But in regards to the film being okay, I'm solely giving the okay grade because I would have gave this a bad grade. I would have said this is a bad film. The only thing saving this is the fact that it has a really cool makeup and special effects towards the death scenes itself. They are believable. I'm going to be honest with you, the viewer. They are believable. Because there are crazy people who would possibly attempt this, and it's weird to say. But the other thing that makes this an okay movie is the overall climax of the film. I really felt that the climax of the film did its job and made the makeup and everything else come together and make it an okay film. Had the story and makeup and horror scenes been aligned with the scenes before that were not false, like not causing me any like problems, then this would have been a good movie. But I just felt that it was just okay. When you watch this film, you have your own experience about it. So don't take my opinion for word. Just watch the film and enjoy it for what it's worth. Would I recommend video violence to a family member or friend? No, I don't see myself doing that. I don't know why. I don't really know if anybody would really want to appreciate the film for what it's worth, aside from watching it for a movie a day challenge. Would I watch video violence again? I would give it another try. I'm going to be honest with you, the viewer. I'm going to give it another try down the line. But just now, it just didn't seem to click for me. I don't know why. Now, if you liked today's episode, you see that thumbs up underneath this video? Click it. Give us a like for today's episode. As you're doing that, maybe you've seen the 1987 horror film Video Violence and liked it. Maybe you've seen it and you didn't like it. Maybe you're interested in watching the film. You're hearing my review about the movie. You're going to watch the film after hearing this review and then come back and write something. Well, whichever the three may be, please tell me in the comment box down below. And as you're doing that, you see that word subscribe underneath this video? Click it. Subscribe to a movie a day challenge. Now, tomorrow is day number 298 of a movie a day challenge, and I'll be watching the 1992 horror film Dr. Giggles. My name is Frankie. I will be here tomorrow for day number 298 and the 1992 horror film Dr. Giggles. I will see you tomorrow.